Alright guys, you're back watching Octane Garage, where we are getting back to the Motovox, whatever this thing is called. I really don't know how to say it. But if you watched the last video, I'm trying to remember where we left off. It's been a few weeks. I've been trying to get back to this thing. I do know we need to get this carburetor cleaned up. We got some new plungers for it. I've put one in there just to make sure it fits, and it does. I'm going to take this screw out right here. We are going to spray some cleaner through this thing. Didn't go any further than just tossing that plunger in there to make sure it fits, which luckily it did. And I really don't know how these carburetors work. I just know this thing is dirty. Yeah, I can see dirt in there. We're going to have to spray some cleaner through all these holes. And then, oh, look at that. So this all needs cleaned up. And this is just a, sounds like it's still good. So that's a plus. I don't know if I can pull that off there without ruining it. So I think we're going to leave that on there. I'm going to spray some stuff through it. I'm not going to bore you guys with that part. And we'll get back to you. We'll spray some stuff through all these holes. And I'll show you what we have to clean it with. I don't have any carb cleaner, but I do have some brake cleaner. It's heavy duty. Yeah, brake cleaner. So I'm going to spray this thing down, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, I think I got it pretty clean, guys. It's not perfect, I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to do it. I think it'll do it. I think it'll work. If, and only if, I can't remember how it goes back together. That goes there, because that's the only way it'll fit. Or does this go on first? This goes here. Yep, this goes on here like that. Yes, this has to go on after that. And I just dropped a screw, and that didn't happen. Now I will slide down here and grab it out of the dirt. You guys didn't see that? We're going to put her back in here. Like so. And I'm hoping this plunger will work. Our other screws over here. Get those put on when I'm tightening it up. Because it does have quite a gap there. I don't think it's supposed to, but I'm not sure. I really haven't worked on a lot of these weed whacker type motors is what it is. Oh, there it goes. It's drawing down. Look at there. But, you know, overdo it. Alright, there. Alright guys, we got the car pretty much cleaned. We haven't bolted on yet. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move to the gas tank for a minute because we want to get this started to clean up, so when we put this carburetor on, we'll be ready to go. So if you saw in the last video, this gas tank is horrible. And I mean, look at that. This is just, I don't know if you can even see down in there, but it looks like this basically. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab some rocks. Try not to get the mud in there, but we're going to take these rocks. You can get any rocks will do. Drop them down in here like so. Maybe a few smaller ones. We're going to put some water in here. We're going to give it the shake. We'll fill it with water. We'll shake it up good. And that's going to clean it out, believe it or not. Let me throw some water in this. Okay, we're going to fill this baby up some. I got my fingers over the holes. That will do it. Don't tell Tracy we're in the house filling up gas tanks. So, anyway, you know the wives, they don't like that type of stuff, but she's pretty good and she can't see me right now. So. Alright, back to the garage. We'll shake this baby up. Hold it sideways. Well, look at this thing's so plugged up, the water's barely dripping out of there, guys. So I almost don't even need to, you know. So we're going to shake it up. We might have to do this more than once. I don't really know. This is my first time trying it like this. Looks like we got a little leaking coming out of the cap. Oh, and look at how that's coming out a lot better already. I would say it's working. Well, it's not really coming out this one yet. So I guess we'll keep shaking. All right, let's dump it out and just see what we see. See what we see, I guess. Well, that still looks pretty horrible. But watch this. Look at how that water looks. Oh. And look at the chunks that's coming out of it. Oh. Now I feel like, look at the stuff on the top of that. Wow. I think we're gonna have to move to the hose. We'll give this thing a rinse out and repeat. Rinse and repeat, guys. Rinse and repeat. We've all heard it. We'll just rinse it out for a minute. Maybe we should throw some dish soap or something in there. Alright, anyhow. We'll give her the old college try one more time. What do you think? And here we go. Alright, let's see how that looks. Ugh. Look at all the stuff coming out again. Still a lot of gunk in there. I can see it. So we're going to try and rinse that out. Alright, so we got a little soap. I'm going to dab a little of that in here. And we will see. A little goes a long ways. Little goes a long ways, guys. So we're going to throw a little bit of this in here. Alright, you want to shut the water off? Yeah. And shake it up again. Ooh. Got water coming out the top hole now. And it's coming out the bottom. I think we'll let it soak for a minute. And we'll throw that carburetor on. We'll shake this a little bit in between. And then we'll see how it did. So be patient. We are open for business. Octane Garage Small Engine Repair is now open. Now open for business. Carb clean. We got it. Parts. We got them. If you have a scooter, a weed whacker, a push mower, a small engine that needs some repair, call Octane Garage. And we will see if we might be able to fix it. Because I'm not sure if this is going to run yet. But if it does, we'll be open for business in no time. And you know what I'm thinking? If this works out, we could fix all kinds of stuff. So stay with us. Let's see if this works. And if it does, maybe, just maybe, we will open for business. I don't know. Guys, we need to get this carburetor on. Enough with the silliness. We got to see if this thing will actually run. So I guess our next order of business is to try to remember which way this went. I'm going to say this. It goes like this. Yep. Okay. And this. Oh boy, we got to clean this up. So let me get this cleaned up. Got it. Let's at least wipe it down, I guess. Much better. I like it. Okay. So we're good there. The way this goes is this slides in here. And this one slides in there. And it all goes right up here. Boom, just like that. Alright, now, look at that. I left the right one out. You don't want to over tighten these. Because, you know, that's plastic. It's a plastic intake right there. If you get too carried away, you will break that. I guarantee it. And maybe just a hair more than snug, I guess. Don't celebrate it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't celebrate. Just snug it up. You don't got to get crazy. think we're good, guys. There's our choke, just like that. We have an air cleaner that goes in there. We have this cover that goes on, and the carburetor is back together. We're gonna get this cleaned up. We're gonna get that air cleaner in there, and we'll be rocking. Oh, and there's this thing too. This fits in here. Or was it in here? Okay. I really don't know where this thing goes. I think once we get our air cleaner, it's just all gonna come together. It will come together one way or another. So let's find this air cleaner, which I thought was laying, right here. And look at the stuff on that. We'll get that cleaned off. We may need to eventually replace this air cleaner, I would say. But for what we're trying to do just to get it fired up, I think this will work. Alright, we're going to call that good for now. That goes around this somehow or another. Okay, I believe it was something like that. The only part I'm a little confused about is, what way did it go in here? Oh, okay, just realized something. It's got little knobs in there that hold the air cleaner. So the air cleaner goes like this. That I am positive on. So then this is going to have to go on like this. Aha! Heard it clicking, guys. Okay, that's the way it goes. So the next step, this goes like this. I think we gotta have the screw out of there though. Okay, we'll put that down there. Oh boy. Okay, after 550,000 tries, I did actually get it to start. I just gotta get her snugged up a hair more. Okay, we're getting our fuel lines put back on. So we got both of those on. One's gonna be our, main primer line, I guess is what you'd call it, where you press that ball, goes into the tank. The other one's gonna be the return. So we are gonna finish cleaning this fuel tank up, and we're about ready to give this thing a try. So stay with us. We're gonna shake that fuel tank a little more, hose it out one more time, blow it out with a little air. We'll bolt her back on, throw some gas in it, and see what happens. Alright guys, we're back at it. So let's see if it helped. Well, I'd say that lid looks better. Definitely looks better than it did. Oh, look at all that.
Oh, it's looking better.
Definitely looks a lot better now. We'll shake the rocks out. We'll give this thing a rinse. I think we'll give it a rinse. We'll blow it all out dry, and then we'll see you guys back in the garage. Okay, we got our gas tank all cleaned up. I just got done grabbing something to eat. It looks pretty good in there. We're also going to go ahead and throw a filter on it, just to make sure. I'm hoping this filter will work. It's a little big, but we're going to try to get it on there. Put an inline filter in it. And maybe we'll do that first. We'll just see if we can get this filter on. And I'm thinking I could probably, if I have to, could heat it up to get it to slide on there. I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to leak. So what we'll do, cut it back a little bit, and flip it around. This filter's really a little big, if I'm being honest. It's way too big. That's okay. Get it warm enough. I'm thinking it'll slide on there. There. A little heat action. Got it on there. Probably a little bit big for this, but I'll tell you what, I don't think it's gonna leak. I don't love these plastic filters, but we're gonna go with it. Now that that's done, we can put this back on the carb, blow through it, make sure that's working like it should. Feels good. We're gonna get it back on the carburetor. Then we will bolt our gas tank up. We'll see if it's nice and tight on the carburetor. So I don't think we'll have any issues there with any leaking. So that's good. We'll get our gas tank bolted back up. We'll put some gas in this thing. And then we will see if all this effort was worth it. Sometimes you just gotta do what you can, right? With me for a minute here. We are really close to firing this thing up. Is anybody tired of waiting to hear this thing run? Okay, finally. Now, we got one that's got to go down here. Fuel line wise, that is. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to slide this up. Spread it out just enough to tighten that on there good. I think we're good. Hopefully that's not going to leak. And this is the return line, I do believe. It has to come up and go on the top here. Hoping that I'm doing this right. If not, we'll have to switch the lines around. But I do believe that would be the way they go. I'm about 2% sure on that. 2%. Not much, but 2% anyway. And I guess 2% is better than nothing, right? So we'll go with that. Fortunately, we have some gas here mixed up. Not a lot, but should be enough to maybe get this thing to make a little noise. A little 125 gas we have. I think we'll not get too crazy. That should be enough to do what we got to do. In case we got to move those lines around or do anything else, we don't want to put too much in her. We'll hit the primer ball and see if it starts pulling any gas for us. But right between these, can just barely see that little primer ball right there. So what I'm thinking is, we start pumping that. It's supposed to start pulling fuel for us. And I see fuel in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. But we got fuel. We got fuel in our filter. And we got fuel in our prime ball. Okay guys, it's the next day. My battery died on my camera, so I had to prolong this to the next day. But I did do a few things off camera I was going to go over with you real quick. Because after I tried to start it, I could not get it to start. I was not getting spark. I thought the coil was bad, so I went ahead and took my ohm meter. I checked the coil. Turns out it was okay. What had happened was, when I was doing the wiring, I wired these two wires that were to our on-off switch together. I was thinking they had to be together, and they were not supposed to be together. These little wires right here, they're hard to see. And they weren't supposed to be together. They were causing it to ground out. And when it was grounding out, it was not giving it spark. So it didn't end up being the coil. I tore all the covers off to find that out. And unfortunately, I didn't video any of it, which it probably wouldn't have been that interesting anyway. What we want to do now, though, is we are going to fire this thing up as promised. Well, I guess I never really promised, but we're going to fire it up anyway, just to show you that it does run. and it seems to run pretty decent. There we go. Okay. Getting a little smoky in the garage here. We'll get the engine covers back on this thing. We'll get some wiring wired up, and then we'll do another little video of us riding it. Probably, maybe just a short, I don't know. We also got to throw some air in the tires. But I want to thank everybody for watching. We do appreciate everyone's support. I hope you found this interesting. If you like this type of stuff and you like what we're doing, then I guess we're doing it right, and we'll keep on doing it. So thanks again for watching. We appreciate it.